presented by Blue Cross Blue Shield of Illinois.
The 0-1. High fly ball into center. The shortstop Russell. A big one. 2-run shot. 3-1 Chicago in the 6th. Biggest swing of that 22-year-old's life.
Well, the Cubs are one win from getting to the World Series for the first time in 71 years.
Yeah!
Tonight, 8-13-0 is a whole lot better than 4-9-1. John Lester 2-0 over Joe Blanton 0-2. Change that number.
Do it.
Down to 5, baby. 5 wins from the unbelievable World Series championship. Hello and welcome in to Cubs Postseason Live, presented by Blue Cross Blue Shield of Illinois, along with Todd Hollingsworth. I'm David Kaplan. Cubs get it done. That's right. We've been doing that all season long. The Cubs are just one win from going to the World Series. There's a whole lot to talk about, but I'm going to start with John Lester. What a big boy performance.
Man, he towed the line, right? Didn't he? Stepped up into this situation. That we were hoping that the Cubs would score a little bit more early, but he had that one run, made it stand up, made pitches, battled, just continued to work the corners. Love what we saw from him. He got tested. They tried to bunt on him a little bit. They tried to run on him. They tried to dance. They did the whole thing. He was absolutely brilliant. It's exactly what you ask your ace to do in a big game. I didn't want to call this a must-win. It wasn't a must-win, but this is a game you wanted. You wanted to come back to Wrigley Field and say, we're going back to our turf. We're going to win a game. We're going to go to the World Series. This is how you get it done. Loved it.
Unbelievable. So just 2 nights ago, everybody's all freaked out. I'm yelling and calm down, people. Relax. Back to Chavez Ravine Dodger Stadium. Kelly Crow with Dexter Fowler.
Dexter, let's start with that 7th inning. That was a big inning for you guys. Pretty critical to put up those runs, and you're diving into first to make it happen. But how did that change the game, really knowing where you guys were at that point?
Just went up there. Moore got the bunt down in front of the other 2 runners, and I just tried to get the runs in at any cost. So, it was a hustle play, and I got it done. So
I feel like we're hearing that and seeing that a lot. Is there a sense of buying in this postseason to whatever it takes? If it's a bunt, if it's diving into first, are guys buying into how big the results can be from just small things?
For sure. You put your stats behind you. It's a team game, and we're not going to win if we don't play as a team. So, if one guy doesn't do it, we pass the baton and lean on another guy.
How did this team feed off of John Lester tonight?
Lester was awesome. He goes out there and competes every day. We knew we were going to get a good game out of him, and it was a matter about putting up runs. And as soon as we got the early lead, we knew he was going to bear down, and we knew we had to keep going.
Describe the picture in your head now when you head back to Wrigley, a 3-2 lead in this series. You send Kyle Hendricks to the mound in front of your home crowd.
It's going to be awesome. The atmosphere, getting back home in front of our fans is going to be special, and hopefully we can close it out the first day.
All right, Dexter, congratulations.
Thank you, guys.
Thank you very much, Kelly and Dexter. Cubs had gotten some opportunities early, and they couldn't push anything across other than the one run that they got on the Rizzo double in the first inning.
Well, how important was that, though? Dexter let us off with a base hit. I mean, we talked about setting the tone early in the ballgame. Again, you're absolutely right. We thought there might be a little bit more, but that got it going. I thought there was some excitement around that. John Lester was going to make it stand up. I would love to have said we scored 3 runs there. We didn't. We've talked about this all season long. It's not, paralysis by analysis when it comes down to some of these runners in scoring position. But the bottom line was Dexter got a base hit. We got to run.
Back to Dodger Stadium. Kelly's got Addison Russell.
Addison, 2 home runs in as many nights. Go through that at-bat there in the 6th inning and the lift that it provided for this team in that moment.
Yeah, it provided us some cushion. Johnny just went out there and started relaxing. It looked like he got better in the 6th from my point of view. So I definitely know whenever we go out there, score runs early, it puts the pitchers at ease so they can focus on what they need to do at that point.
For a while there, it was tough scratching runs across, guys on base. But when you hit that home run and then you see what happened there in the 8th inning, did you feel like guys fed off of that?
Absolutely. One person get hit, and then it's just a chain reaction. So that's the great thing about this ball club. I guess we've been doing it all year, and I love this ball club, So they're great.
Speaking of loving the ball club, I got to ask, the rumor was last night that Anthony Rizzo used Matt Caesar's bat. It's flying around that you might have used something of Caesar's as well. Can you tell me the story behind that?
Yeah, I actually used his leggings, so I used them again tonight, so I think that he might have to give them to me.
The lucky leggings, that's what we're going to call them. Hey, real quick, how has the momentum shifted now in this series? You guys are up 3-2, and you head home with a chance to close it out in 2 games.
It's huge. The fans have been behind us 110%. To be able to finish it off at Wrigley, it's definitely a huge honor, you know. Hopefully we get the job done. We're just going to go out there and battle, you know, just stick to Cubby baseball, and things will handle itself. I know that we're facing a great pitcher, but we stick with our approach and grind out the bats against Clayton Kershaw. I think that we might come out with a win.
Awesome. Addison, always a pleasure to talk to you. Appreciate the lucky leggings story. We'll ask you if that keeps rolling for you when we get home. Thank you.
Thank you.
All right, check out the reaction here. This crowd is so jacked up. Look at all the Cub fans. Look at that. So awesome to see so many Chicagoans who call California home, or Chicagoans who went out there, or Cub fans from all over who are at Dodger Stadium and cheering on their boys as they will come back to Chicago tonight. They'll work out tomorrow, and then Saturday you take on the best pitcher in the world.
Strap it on, try and go get a win, right? I mean, it's not easy. This thing's not over yet. They went out there and took care of business. That's what I'm excited about. They found the swing. They found the stroke. They got it done again late. We talk about how, you know, their mode of operation, what they like to do. And, again, there were some things in this game that we'll talk about that we'd like to see maybe a little bit better. But you know what? At the end of the day, that you got to win. And that's what the postseason's all about. That's why we show you that flag at the beginning, right? We just knock a number off. I mean, they're counting the numbers the same way we are. Go get wins. Do whatever you got to do. Drop bunts down, move guys along, play with the game however you think you got to do it, but find a way to win a game. And right now, tonight, they got it done.
All right, we're going back out. Kelly has David Ross.
Well, David, coming into the night, John Lester really wanted this. He talked about the focus he thought he'd need on the mound tonight. Just assess his performance.
I do great. I actually, the one run and he gave up, I called a changeup. Terrible pitch to call for me, trying to do too much and trick guys, and then I got to get that ball down to KB a little bit quicker, that stolen base. So John did phenomenal. I don't think he should have given up a run. It's more on me. I gave up maybe my first run tonight.
I'm sure he appreciated you legging out the double there later on, but this team in general, the score does not reflect how close it was. Will you describe how important it was, especially they're late to scratch runs across?
Yeah, it's always important, and it's a really good team over there, and they fight to the end. As you see, they put up some runs late on our bullpen guys, and did a good job. They got a really good team, and it's always important. Every at-bat's important right now, every pitch. We got to keep that focus. Guys did a great job. Willie coming in, facing a guy throwing 99, and a great at-bat there. Another great performance by Addy and Javi. These guys continue to get locked in. Riz, another great game. KB's always on base. Zoe, I mean, the whole group is doing a phenomenal job. Dex had a big hit there late. Great base running. We've always put the pressure on the other team, which is fun.
Awesome. Have a happy flight home. Thank you, David.
Thanks, guys.
There you go. There's David Ross. Take a listen to this. They're letting him know. And then I think you're going to see Javi Baez. I saw him somewhere in the shot. There he is. And everybody excited. Look at the W flags, the City of Chicago flag. Everybody is so fired up. And I was checking Twitter, and David Ross, before he talked with Kelly, told some members of the media standing there, they asked him, the Dodgers were doing all the dancing and trying to disrupt John. How does John handle it? He goes, frankly, it pisses him off.
Well, so. How about the look, right? I mean, I think it was, the first inning. Peterson tried to bunt on him, and, he threw the one hopper over there. Anthony picked it up, and the nasty glare. I mean, I loved it. I mean, I was fired up when I saw it. That little look he shot towards the Dodger dugout. Absolutely
Really? You want to go there?
Yeah, right. And we talked about it in the pregame show. If the Dodgers were actually going to be able to pull this off tonight, where they were going to create any kind of offense against John doing that, they would be the first team this year to actually accomplish it. He has handled himself very well. It hasn't been pretty at times, I understand. And the throw across the diamond makes us all go, when it gets there. But Anthony picked it, and you get the out. I mean, the bottom line is results. And I've said that all along. It's what you think about in the postseason. Get the results.
All right, time for you to get interactive with our show. Mobile, laptop, tablet. Get ready. Head to csnchicago.com/vote. There's no special app to download. There's no cost. Go to the website. Our question is, who's your Game 6 MVP? Baez, Lester, Rizzo, Russell.
Yeah, I got to go John Lester.
Yeah,
I think it's pretty
for me,
obvious.
that's a layup.
Yeah, it's not a hard one. I mean, listen, I love Javi Baez. I love what this kid is becoming in the biggest stage of his life. He is really turning into a superstar. Calm, cool, collected, just great at bats. But John Lester, boy, oh boy, was challenged. I think he was challenged with the strike zone tonight. Cappy, you and I were talking about this early. He was making pitches that we've watched him make all season long. And Alfonso Marquez, the home plate umpire, was not, on it. Here's that play that we talked about. It's just get it over there. It doesn't have to be pretty. Let Anthony pick it. He'll do it. Making pitches on the corner. Here's the thing. It's always about giving in with me. Even John Lester, he won't give in, Cap. That's the one thing that stood out. He made great pitch after great pitch. And even when they weren't getting called, he went back there. Like, that was a classic at bat where he didn't get one on the inside corner right there through a backup cutter, and that's why you saw that energy right there to Seager. He made an even better pitch with the cutter down low and away. Seager swings over the top of it. He battles through it. So, I mean, that's who he was tonight. I remember Ethier got him for a pinch hit home run at Wrigley Field. I mean, he was dialed in. He never gave up more than one hit in any inning. So these were, I'm not going to say that they were stress-free, but he was dominant. He was rolling. I thought it was just a matter of when the Cubs were going to finally score and really just kind of blow this game open. Fortunately, we had to wait to the later innings, the sixth inning, to get some more runs. I didn't think the Dodgers were even going to score on him tonight. And interesting that you heard David Ross kind of say it the same way. I thought those plays could have been made. And I even said to you at the time, when that one run was scored, that if they played that a little differently, that run wouldn't have scored.
Yeah, David said, that's on me. I called the changeup. I got too cute.
You had to play at home. I mean, we've seen Anthony make that play before. I'm not putting it squarely on his shoulders. He was trying to get his feet straight to get a throw to home. But bottom line is they ended up scoring a run.
Look at these numbers. Since the All-Star break, 17 starts, including this postseason. John is 12-1 with a 159, 113 innings, just 76 hits. That's an insane ratio. 103 strikeouts to 26 walks, and allowed just 6 home runs. And as I was going through some of the stats, get this, in 4 starts versus the Dodgers this season, John Lester has thrown 28 innings, 3 runs allowed, just 16 hits, 4 walks, 25 Ks, and a 0.96 ERA.
Cy Young?
I'd give it to him. Yeah. I mean, I got to think he's there. Hendricks is there. Max Scherzer, Kenley Jansen. Those are probably the top
I know we're
4.
not supposed to connect the postseason conversation to what he's accomplished.
Yeah, the votes are already in.
Absolutely right, but I mean, when you watch him do it again, it's just a constant reminder of what kind of season he's had. He's done this time and time again, right?
Magnificent. All right, so let's talk a little bit too about the impact that Javi Baez had on this game. The play he made, barehanding a ball, they had to review it, and getting Adrian Gonzalez on a bunt play. That was magnificent.
Oh, he's an incredible athlete, and it just, some guys seem to rise when the lights get the brightest. I mean, I don't know how else to say it. It's embracing the moment, and in his personality, he is rising. Look at his at-bats. These are the most calm at-bats we've seen from Javi, consistently anyway. Mark my words, we've talked about it. He's done this before, but at times he always seems to kind of get away from the moment. But in this postseason, it's like the bigger the at-bat, the bigger the spot, the situation, the better the at-bat. Driving a ball the other way, game planning well, getting the front side down, driving it, as you see right there, staying inside the baseball. This is all deliberate. This is thought out and executed. That's what he's doing right now. He's just putting together quality at-bats, hitting against the defense. There he goes. He's on another level right now, Cap, and it's fun to watch. And I said to you just a little while ago, he's kind of my favorite Cub right now. I mean that because he is bringing it. He's having impact in the box. He's having impact on the bases, and he's having impact on defense. Look at this play.
This bunt play. I mean, that is magnificent. I mean, to make the play is one thing. To get him out is ridiculous.
This is actually a very good play by Adrian Gonzalez. He did everything he wanted to do, and you know what? He bunted to the wrong guy. You're out. Go right turn. You're go home. Baez again, bare hand, quick toss off the next step. Quick release, great catch right there by Anthony Rizzo. I wouldn't even challenge Baez right now. He's going to come out on top of just about anything he runs across on the game.
Okay, 48 hours ago, you and I are sitting on this very set, and we're discussing a 6-0 loss. Everybody's bummed, and I take my phone out every single show, and I follow Twitter, and I tweet while we're at breaks, and everyone's good. You got to bench Addison Russell. Get this guy out of the lineup. He's killing you. Where would they be without him the last 2 days?
Hey, I wasn't on that ship. I told you, man.
Nor was I.
Yeah,
But
I
that's
just said slide him down in the lineup. That's all I would have done. Take some pressure off him. You're not taking him out. You don't take him out because he's a team captain, he's a team leader, and he's your starting
home runs the last 2 days.
Absolutely. What part of the field did he hit him to?
Both to the right or right center by going up the middle of the field. That's the first 2 home runs he's hit like that this year.
That's right. That's what we pointed out in the pregame show. All of his home runs basically had been to left field or left center field. This one right here is well, but still, let me say it this: that's the farthest to the right of all his homers this year. Now we know the one he hit last night was to right center, but again, this is it, Cap. This is a hanging slider. This, again, is a great example of the work behind the scenes paying off. How many times have we even seen, I have seen him this year, take a hanging slider and try to yank it. Now, sometimes for a double down the line, even sometimes for a home run, but you see where he's at right now, why he's having multi-hit efforts, why he's driving the ball to center field and to right center field is because he's staying inside the baseball. Look at this. You see it. It's kind of like we showed you in the pregame show. You see where the setup is. How about this? How bad is that miss? Ruiz almost had to come out of his crouch to get this. It's called a hanger. And they say you hang it and you bang it, and that's exactly what he did. But he didn't get around it. That's the great joy. He led with his hands. Watch his hands. That bottom hand pulls the knob through. It helps him elevate the baseball and get it in the air. And then he's got the barrel on it, and he drives it out to center field. Big, big moment for him right there, for Addison Russell, and certainly for the Cubs.
Youngest shortstop with multiple postseason home runs, Carlos Correa, just 21 years of age in 20 days. Corey Seager at 22. Addy at 22. Lindor at 22. And Derek Jeter at 23 as the age of their second postseason home run.
Just to remind us that he's 22 years old when we were all talking about when everybody else was overreacting, thinking that he should be benched.
Right.
That's the other point that I would make right there. The kid's 22 years old and you want to bench him. Are you kidding me?
Yeah, it's some of the most insane stuff that we have heard in a long time. So he was magnificent. I got to ask you about Jason Hayward. I have to. Look, he's a elite defender. He's won multiple Gold Gloves. Jason Hayward is a good teammate. He's a good guy. Everybody likes him in there. Right now, he is killing this baseball team offensively. Every time he comes up, he is overmatched. He is swinging at stuff that he shouldn't be swinging at. And look, everyone wants to fire on him. The guy that has to answer for why he's playing is Joe Madden. He makes out the lineup card. Jason is doing what he's been doing all year long. He can only do his best. His best isn't good enough right now. At what point does the manager say, Jace, I've tried to give you every chance I can, man. We're going to use you. I'll pick our spots. But right now, until we get in the offseason and we can reconstruct that swing, I am going to probably have to play Wilson Contreras more in the outfield, put him in left, and move Ben Zobrist to right.
Saturday. That's the safe answer I'm going to give you right now. He's not starting on Saturday for me because they've got Clayton Kershaw going.
And not Sunday because they got Rich Hill if there's a game 7.
So, I mean, that's the point. I've tried to explain it this way, and it's the way that I see it. It's not the way Joe Madden sees it, and that's okay. He's the manager of this team. But for me, listen, what value have we found in him this year? Great defender, good base runner, right? Struggled with the bat. Now, what's ended up happening at certain times this postseason, and I kind of warned you about this because he's had a rough year with the bat, that he's going to get to some spots in the lineup where you want his glove in there late, but your hand is forced to keep him in there through those vital at-bats. You saw it again tonight. It's the classic thing. It's why he shouldn't start, and that's why I feel that way. I have a hard time saying that, but the reality is this. If he starts out on your bench, you can bring him into the ballgame strategically. Wherever you want to pinch run him, if it's for David Ross late after a late double, maybe you bring him in there, you double switch him into a ballgame, you get his glove on the field because it needs to be there in a game. But the problem that you have is when you start him, you tend to want to leave him in there. So he ends up taking down those big at-bats. He ends up taking down the tough lefty out of the bullpen because he becomes a matchup guy because you don't want him off the field for his glove. So he ends up in those situations, as we saw again tonight. Pop up, strike out. The Blanton at bat was, he took a 3-1 fastball right down the middle of the plate and then swung at a slider.
It hit him in the feet.
I mean, you can't hit it. It's impossible. You can't do anything with it. So that explains where he's at. I think right now he is really struggling. He's in his own head.
Yeah, his approach is all messed up.
He's nervous. I'm sure there's a lot of things going on. He's putting the weight of the world on his shoulders. I've been there. I've done it myself. I mean, it is a tough place to be. But you got to reset and refocus and find a way to make yourself productive again. And it's hard to do in the postseason when expectations are absolutely at their highest. So for me, you want my answer? Yeah, I'm not starting him because I can bring him off the bench and get him involved in other ways using his strengths. Because right now his strength is not his bat. That's not helping us right now. Other guys are. Contreras stepped right into this game off the bench and provided a pinch hit to right field. Boom.
On a 99-mile-an-hour fastball.
I mean, and that's the point. So at least for me right now in lefties, I'm going in a different direction.
Completely agree. All right, we got to take a timeout. We'll come back. We got so much more to do. Joe Madden's going to speak. John Lester is going to speak. You're watching Cubs Postseason Live, presented by Blue Cross Blue Shield of Illinois. We'll be right back.
Cubs Postgame Live is presented by Blue Cross Blue Shield of Illinois. Through it all.
If you feel like singing a song and you want other people to sing along, just sing what you feel. Don't let anyone say it's wrong. When there's a light, what light? When there's a light, what light? When there's a light, why light?
Welcome to the Apt Showroom, one of the top appliance retailers in the U.S. Explore our full line of Thermador appliances that will inspire and empower you to imagine design and bring to life your dream kitchen. Our team of product experts will work with you, your builder, and designer from the very first sketch to the very last detail. Discover how Thermador is personalized to the way you cook and bring the ingredients of entertaining to life. Visit us at Apt, pleasing people since 1936.
You know the feeling. The rush of every roll, every flip, sip, bite, note, and night. You know the feeling. Get it at Ameristar.
The Honda Take Home a CRV sales event is here with incredible deals. Loaded with standard features like Pandora compatibility, a multi-angle rear view camera, and plenty of cargo space. It's no wonder the CRV was named Kelley Blue Book's KBB.com Best Buy for 2016. Hurry into the Honda Take Home a CRV sales event and get a great deal today.
Check out that crowd. That's live at Dodger Stadium. Look at that. Boy, are they jacked up. Good to see. Cubs one win away from going to the World Series. Check out our Ameristar Casino Hotel pitching recap. Let's take a look at the numbers. There's John Lester, 7 innings, 5 hits, 1 earned run, 6 strikeouts, 1 walk, 108 pitches. Good night's work. Kenta Maeda lasted 3 2/3, 3 hits, an earned run. He wriggled out of trouble and pitched very well down the stretch of his 3 2/3 inning outing. 6 punch-outs, 2 walks, 76 pitches. Hey, memo to all the Cub fans who jumped off the bandwagon. We're going to pull it over. You can jump back on now if you want to be there for Saturday. Just a memo. You know who you are out there. All right? Not saying all of you, but there's some of you out there. All right, now let's go out to L.A. Our guy Ryan Sandberg joins us now. Rhino, this was a very intense, tight ball game for quite a while. Cubs left some opportunities. Then they broke it open. What was your take on how good John Lester was? You saw it up close and personal. We watched on TV.
It was very tight ball game for John Lester, and you know what? He had to deal with some base runners. It looked like the Dodgers had a conscious effort to show some bunts, maybe even to try some bunts. And also when they got on base, really try and get big leads and distract them. But you know what? I was real impressed and had a lot of fun watching David Ross in those moments. Several visits to the mound just to calm down the situation. And that's Rossi going in the dugout. There's a few thousand fans still here. But David did a very good job with Lester, keeping him calm, under control, and I thought Lester did a very good job with the guys on base.
Hey, Rhino, let's talk about a couple middle infielders. Let's do this collectively because, well, you're a Hall of Fame middle infielder yourself. Our two guys in the middle, Addison Russell, huge home run to center field. Great to see. And obviously, Javi Baez had another fantastic ball game. So tell us about what you saw from them tonight.
Well, those guys are top-notch up the middle, very athletic, a lot of energy out there. Great to see Addison Russell continue swinging a hot bat, and he's just one of those guys in the lineup that can really change a game and win a game for you. And that was a big blast that gave the cushion. Javi continues to be very athletic and do the things that he does, but so much movement up the middle and area that they cover on a nightly basis. It's a pitcher's dream with those two guys up the middle, and that's where the defense starts for me.
Rhino, let's talk about what you saw from the Dodgers. They battled. It was a tight ball game. They got it tied 1-1, and then the Cubs broke it open. They got the Russell home run, and then they added on. What'd you see from the Dodgers tonight? What's the challenge going to be like on Saturday? They're certainly going to have an elite arm pitching, but it's going to be electric at Wrigley.
It is going to be electric, no question about that. It's electric right here at Dodger Stadium with Cubs fans, and it was for from the 6th inning on, and really for the whole series. So Wrigley Field's going to be pumped up there. You know, the Dodgers tonight, I think that they threw everything but the kitchen sink at the Cubs as far as pitching goes. Pitchers were in and out. I think it was about a 3.5 hour game because of that. But they got the youngster out right away, and anytime that there was trouble with any of the pitchers, even just a base hit, they were going to new guys. So they almost used the whole bullpen down there. Valiant effort on their part, but you know, the 5 runs in the 8th really showed the youth and the athleticism of the young players. Bottom of the order, little small ball setting the table, and ended up with the 5 runs on the board. That was good to see. A lot of those guys were bench players, so anytime these guys get their turn and their at-bats and they come through, I mean, that's even better for them going forward, being on the bench and coming up in key situations.
Hey, Rhino, last inning, I'm not going to make too much out of this. I don't think you will either, but I want to ask. Aroldis Chapman, you know, in the fastball, not using the slider so much. I want to ask you right now, do you think, is there any reason for concern that he got hit around a little bit there in the 9th inning?
You have to repeat that last part.
Well, any concern about Chapman? You know, he got hit around a little bit there in the 9th inning. I know they wanted to get him some work, hadn't pitched since game 2. We're seeing the velocity, but the Dodgers put together some good at-bats against him. Any concern there?
I don't think so. There was a cushion for him to work with there. I think he's a tight ball game situation, getting the big 3 outs at the end of the game. So I think it was good that he got in there, got his feet wet, got his arm loose. I think that'll be good with him for him going forward with the off day tomorrow, and he'll be amped and ready to go for Saturday and Sunday.
Rhino, we will see you at Wrigley on Saturday afternoon. Look forward to it. It'll be a lot of fun. Travel safe coming back. All right, my man?
Thanks, Rhino.
Sounds good. I'm going to bring a few thousand fans with me on the flight, so we'll all be there.
Love it. Bring them back.
We'll be there for you.
Come on back. All right, we'll see you.
All right, they're out here.
Thanks a lot.
Yes.
There he is, Ryan Sandberg, who's part of our team. All right, time for the Honda winning box score. Excuse me, the Wrigleyville box score. Let's take a look. Dexter had a couple of knocks, scored 2 runs, drove in 1, 2 hits for Chris Bryant, a double. Anthony Rizzo had 2 hits. Zobrist an 0 for 2, but had 3 walks. Good night for Javi, 3 hits. We talked about Jason's struggles. Addison Russell, a 2 for 5. David Ross, a 1 for 2, a double, hustle double, and a walk. And then John Lester. All right, here is Joe Madden. You don't want to miss this. Brought to you by Xfinity.
Play, but give Javi an even more credit for the play that he made.
And right here.
Yes, sir.
Joe was mentioned earlier that you guys are 1 game away from the World Series, and there's some weight of history with the Cubs about that, even though you weren't here.
Yeah.
But you've said embrace all along. Is that something else that you can embrace, being that close and openly talking about, you know, achieving that 1 goal?
Of course. That's been our goal all year, and now we're very close to it. And again, I want us to go out and play the same game like you just saw tonight. I anticipate our guy's going to pitch well. I anticipate their guy is too. We need to catch the baseball. You know, and like I said, with pitchers like Kershaw, score runs with outs. If you have that potential to do that too. That you have to take advantage of every opportunity when you're facing that level of pitching. So yeah, we're not going to run away from anything. It's within our reach right now, but I do want us to go after it as though it's, again, I hate to say it, but Saturday. Let's just go play our Saturday game and see how it falls.
Okay, last one for Joe? Nope. Okay, great.
Cool. Thank you.
And as I said, we're expecting Addison Russell, John Lester, and Javier Baez.
All right, that was quick.
So you got a plane to catch?
Yeah, he must. He's usually a good 8, 10, 12 minutes. That's all we got. But there'll be more. Addison Russell, John Lester going to be in the interview room. We'll have that. We'll go right back to them as soon as they get seated. You asked Rhino about Aroldis Chapman.
Yeah.
It is a legitimate question that we watch what Andrew Miller's doing for Cleveland.
Sure.
Hey, Andrew, we need you to come in the 7th, and we need you to get 9 outs. No problem. I got you covered.
Right.
And he dices him up. Aroldis didn't look good tonight, man.
No, he didn't. I'm not going to make too much out of it. I mean, there's the cushion there. I asked Rhino just to see what he thought. But when you see traffic, I mean, it's your closer. I mean, I'm not going to try to say that, you know, in this situation, because it's a non-safe situation, that there isn't the excitement or the adrenaline. It's a postseason ball game. I mean, I don't know. I mean, I felt it that way. Of course, I'm not a closer. Never was. I mean, I pinch hit, you know, and I pinch hit sometimes and played sometimes in games that were a little bit of a blowout. You know, 5 runs in the 9th inning. You still go up there. You're still feeling the nerves of the center stage and everything else that goes on. So you try to handle that moment. You know, I got to admit, I'm a little nervous right now. He's not wanting to throw a slider. He seems to be hesitating with it. Even though he's throwing, again, triple digits, we're seeing it repeatedly. Guys are barreling him up regularly. I mean, I know Joe's not going to make a big deal about it, and I probably shouldn't myself, but it's just what I'm seeing. You know, we got 2 games here, 1 game hopefully, but if you've got 2 games at Wrigley Field that you've got to go win.
You better be able to count on them.
That's kind of what it's getting down to for me, and with each passing day, they had good passes against him, and I talked about this the other day. That's what you build off of. The Dodgers extract from this ball game, which was a lopsided Cubs win. They say to themselves, they get on the plane and come back to Chicago. Hey, man, we put together some at-bats against Chapman right there, man. We keep it close. We can go win a ball game.
And we've got our ace going.
That's all I'm saying.
All right, we'll
Leave
see.
it at that.
All right, Anthony Rizzo in the locker room. Take a listen.
It's fun to be a part of. It's fun to watch, and it's just fun to see him do it.
Anthony, I know you don't relish going against a guy like Kershaw, but you look forward to the challenge of trying to get to him this time.
Yeah, of course. I think probably Ross just said over there, the Ric Flair, to be the best, you got to beat the best, and that's what. It's no different. What we've had to go through to get to this point is huge, and it's just going to be. It's like I said, we're going to really rely on Wrigley Field to get us going.
How about Lester tonight? How good in the big game?
To envision how cool a moment that can be. I mean, you got to focus, but it's going to be amazing if you do. Can you think about that?
Yeah, it's going to be fun, no doubt. You know, we're a good ball club. We know how to stay in the moment and enjoy the moment and slow down the moment. So, that being said, we gotta win, get a lead early, and really put the pressure on the Dodgers.
How about Lester tonight in the big game? How he performed?
Let's go to the podium. Russell, Lester, and Baez.
Up there, so I was just happy to get out of that inning more than anything. You know, I play this game with emotion, and you know, if it rubs people the wrong way, you know, oh well.
And right here in front to the right.
John, teams one win away from the World Series. You've been on teams that have been in this position. What advice do you have to the guys in the clubhouse, or do they need advice?
They don't need anything, man. These guys have been doing this all year. You know, I don't even know why I'm up here with these guys. I mean, these guys won the game for us tonight. I was just kind of along for the ride. So, I mean, obviously we all know what we have in front of us with Kershaw going to Game 6, and we're going to do the same thing we've done all year. Show up on, I don't even know what today is. What does it say? Thursday? Show up on Saturday and be ready to play and give it our best. And hopefully, you know, he's not the good Kersh, and we get kind of the mediocre guy that gives up a few runs, and we're able to hold them where they're at.
Okay, over here to the left.
Javi, you've had such an outstanding postseason that maybe Cubs fans got a little bit worried there after you pulled up at second base. Did you tweak or hurt anything on that double? And are you okay now?
No, I'm good. I just think I overrun a little bit. I saw Puig bubble the ball, and you know, I was trying to go 3, and I was just trying to run a little bit harder than I do, and I felt something in my ankle, but I'm fine, 100%.
And over here to the right.
Yeah, John, between the dancing off the bases and the bunts and things like that, was there anything in particular that seemed to get you agitated about that?
No. I mean, it is what it is. People have been doing it all year. So, like I just got done saying earlier, I'd prefer Adrian Gonzalez and Jock Peterson to try to bunt. I mean, they're home run guys. They hit 30 homers. So I'd rather than put the ball on the ground and let these guys try to field it and take my chances that way.
And again here to the right.
Javi, with the way you guys have been hitting the last 2 games and scoring runs, do you feel like there's any pitcher that can beat you guys right now, or do you guys have that kind of unbeatable feeling?
Well, I think anybody in our lineup can turn the game our way. With Riz and Adi that didn't start hot. Everybody was asking about them, and there you have it. They're both hot now, and we're scoring a lot of runs for our pitchers.
And right here in front.
Addison, another night, another huge home run in a big situation, breaking up a really tight game. Can you describe the play and your emotion at that time?
Heading into the 6th inning, Skip, that's all he wants is people on base, and we got people on base. And right there, that situation, just try not to do too much. I was trying to find some gaps. I was looking for something up in the zone to drive, and first pitch slider a little bit low. Second pitch was slider, but it was elevated, and I put the barrel on it, and it kind of went. But just rounding the bases, it was pretty exciting. Pumped up, not only for myself but for the team and the little cushion that Johnny had to go forward from that, and I felt really good.
And over here in the center, Phil.
Hey, John, knowing how you guys position against Adrian Gonzalez, when that bunt got past you, did you think that it was going to be a hit? And just in general, the fielding that you guys have had in this series, how much of a difference has that been?
Well, I don't think it's just this series. I mean, we've been doing it all year. And that's a testament to these guys and our coaching staff by putting these guys in the right spots and just letting talent take over. Usually when the ball's hit at Javi, I don't really worry too much. Luckily, he hit it just hard enough for Adrian to not beat it out, and Javi makes a great play. I mean, these guys have been doing it all year. I mean, our outfielders are unbelievable at reading at-bats and making sure that they're in the at-bat with us, and our infielders have saved our butt more times than not. And that's what makes us a great unit. We got guys that have swing and miss stuff, and then we have guys that, like Kyle, that want you to hit the ball and put it in play, and these guys make the play every time.
And over here to the left.
John, you look to your right, you got a 22-year-old shortstop, a 23-year-old second baseman on your left. The bigger the stage, the bigger the moments almost for these guys. Has it gotten to the point where it's kind of old hat and that age is just a number? We've talked so much about the youth, but it's not a surprise anymore?
I think now, yeah. I think last year, may have, you'd have to ask these guys how they felt, but I think that may have gotten the best of us a little bit. Just with guys, you talk about guys' first full seasons, I remember my first full season playing in September and then going into October. It's a different feeling. You're used to having that month off, in the minor leagues. So I think last year was just an adjustment period for a lot of guys, and look where we got. It's pretty impressive. So for this year, for guys to come into spring training, just feel comfortable. I mean, he's our everyday shortstop coming into spring training. This guy's on the roster no matter what in spring training. So, I think all those things, you add them up, it's just a comfort level for all of us. And we've played however many games together. So we all know each other. We all know what makes us tick. And, I think that just made us a better unit, coming into this year and to this point.
And over here to the right.
Addison, you missed the NLCS last year, and then you got off to a slow start in the playoffs this year. After what you did yesterday, was it easier? Did you get maybe a better sleep last night and come to the ballpark just even a little more confident?
Definitely. I feel like my bats haven't been that bad, this whole postseason, but you stick to your work ethic, and you believe in yourself and you stay confident. There's a little frustration there, but it's a different type of frustration. It's frustration where you have the stuff to get the job done, but you want to help produce for your team and for your offense, and that's where I was kind of struggling a little bit with that frustration. But my confidence was up, and last night was a great night, pushed me forward to today, and just try to carry it over till to Saturday.
And last one over here in the center.
John, this is kind of touching on the experience that you just answered a little bit, but as much postseason play as you've been in, to be with a team that has the energy, the youth, the young legs, is how much of an edge is that, when you're playing your 175th game of the year, 170th game of the year, just for October to have that young energy?
Yeah, absolutely. I think really at this point in time, if you've played a full season, we all kind of feel the same, regardless of age. But if that does help us in any way, that's great. I think the biggest thing for us is a lot of us, we all have the same mindset as we don't really care. We're out there just playing hard and trying to make it to tomorrow, and I think that goes back to day one with Joe back, last year is, hey, let's grind out every day and then see what happens and then show up the next day and do the exact same thing. We have a lot of talent on this team, but we have a lot of guys that are dirt ballers that get down and get dirty and make a lot of plays and, have some gritty at bats for us too.
Okay, we'll let these gentlemen get to their bus, to their plane, to get home. Thank you very much, gentlemen.
All right, there you go. So 3 of the heroes from tonight's game. And, boy, John, the grizzled veteran and a 22-year-old shortstop, a 23-year-old second baseman. This team's going to be around for a while if the good Lord keeps them good health.
Yeah, good and healthy, right. There's no doubt about it. Good, fun to see both of those guys getting podium moments. We keep talking about Javi. He ends up on center stage here and handling all this stuff along with Addison Russell. So happy to see the success. And to me, Addison Russell's story is a fun one to tell because he struggled so much this postseason. He continues to refer to, the work behind the scenes. And I don't blame him because he doesn't want to talk about the slump or the numbers that led to what's going on right now. He just wants to talk about the last 2 ball games. That's a journey. That's a journey for a young kid. He's lived a lot of years in baseball terminology from where he was at the beginning of this postseason to what he's accomplishing right now and the impact that he's having. It almost parallels his season if you really think about it. 95 RBIs, 21 homers. We did not see that coming. It kind of snuck up on us. He even had a shot at 100, and it kind of speaks to what we're seeing here in this postseason as well as he continues to get better.
All right, let's grab a timeout. We'll come back. A whole lot more to do. We'll be right back at Cubs Postseason Live, presented by Blue Cross Blue Shield of Illinois.
Combining home and auto can save you big. Talk to a State Farm agent today.
My cardiologist said, I don't want you to come back until you get something done about those teeth. That is the foundation of good heart health.
We're doing amazing transformations, and it's not just a smile. It changes their person's total outlook.
At Clear Choice, we understand that your dental health impacts your total health.
Doing the best for your own personal health is what's important.
Schedule your free consultation today. We'll even talk about financing options. Call Clear Choice today.
Look at it, lads. New York City. Just doesn't get any better than this.
Actually, it does. With Grubhub, you can get the best foods delivered anywhere.
Gluten-free pad thai here for Seamus.
I am Seamus.
Gluten-free?
Yeah. Can't even taste the difference. Oh, you gotta lock up that front tire.
When you visit Canals BMW, your toughest decision is which BMW will you drive home? A sporty BMW convertible? BMW sedan? BMW coupe? Or one of these BMW high-performance luxury models? And of course, everybody can get into one of these beauties. Canals BMW. Outstanding selection, competitive pricing, always a great decision.
Hello?
What are you wearing, Jake from State Farm?
Are you serious? Not khakis. What are you wearing?
For fastballs, call me. For saving time and money, call State Farm.
You sound hideous.
Lester fired up after the strike. High fly ball in the center.
Get out of here! Get him, baby! Yeah! Get away from me!
I don't care. We're on the air. Josh, take it easy.
we call Respect 90. And you got John Shipman.
Respect 90.
John Shipman, our assistant news director. You killjoy. He's yelling, let's keep it quiet in here in the newsroom.
That's right.
Really?
Right.
Really. Time now for our Four Seasons heating, air conditioning, and plumbing. Who's hot and who's not? We think it's just a soccer game we're watching. Road games in 2016 postseason. Hot? How about Jason Worth, 5 for 7, home run, 3 RBIs, a walk. Who's not? Glenbrook North product, Jason Kipnis, who hopefully the Cubs will see in a World Series. 1 for 16, a home run, an RBI, and 5 punch-outs. Here's our Clear Choice Dental Implant Center play of the game. And you could go a number of ways, but this is probably the right choice.
Oh, it's absolutely the right choice. The game was tied at that moment. Well, right. We were just having a difficult moment because of the Jason Hayward strikeout, and I think it kind of just, it kind of cured us all. We all got back into where we needed to be, and we were real happy. I mean, I guess that's just it. It kind of fixed everything. It made everything right in our world. So Addison Russell clearly feeling the moment. We talked about it, using the middle of the field, taking that slider. As we talked about, in the pregame, Cappy, we broke it down. It's so good to see when you know you're working on something, when you're working on your hands and you're working through a field, and then you practice it and you get there and you put so much time in that the fans don't even know that you're working on these things, and then you go out there on the field and you get the results for what you're working on. It's like almost, it's like aiming and practicing, but baseball doesn't always lend itself that way to the result. You can get in there, and a lot of times you put in a lot of work behind the scenes, hope it plays itself out on the field, but the way that it's playing itself out, right, I mean, it's got to be so satisfying. We've talked about it. We were talking about his front shoulder pulling off the ball, leaking with his hands a little bit, and that was what Addison Russell had done. I mean, again, over half his balls went to left field this year. So getting him squared over the last couple games has been a work in progress. That's why everybody kept saying, why are you struggling? Why are you struggling?
Well, the other thing is the hard work. Yes, it's important. It's imperative. You have to have it or you can't make the changes. But Jason Hayward's worked as hard as anyone. Has nothing to show for it
and therein lies the point of this. That's exactly right. Sometimes, you think you're working on things that are going to correct the issues, and at times you feel better, but it doesn't always lead to the results. I've had a couple seasons in my career that were like that. Thought you were right, leading right up to game time, then you get into game time, and it's not right again, and then you go back to the drawing board, and it just becomes a vicious cycle.
All right, let's go back to the locker room. Chris Bryant.
You saw the last inning here. I mean, the energy's kind of sucked out of the stadium. It's a complete different feeling. So, but yeah, certainly we're all going to enjoy it. You never know the next time you're going to be in this situation, so don't take it for granted. Go out there and, I hope the fans are as loud as they can, and we're certainly going to play as hard as we can, and that's all we can ask.
What was it like playing behind John today, and did you feel that big game intensity? I know you feel that way about all your pitchers, but with John in particular out there and his experience in these games?
Oh, man, it was just the same old stuff from him. That's what you expect. I mean, they're doing stuff to try to get in his head, jumping around. And, I mean, he can make throw first. He got an out. So, I mean, it's amazing just the composure he keeps when, when times aren't going his way. So, I mean, typical John.
Does the killer instinct kick in now, knowing you've got these guys down and you can eliminate them in the next game? You don't want to give them another chance, any more life to come back despite Kershaw going, and that team continues to show no quit.
Yeah, they're not going to quit. But yeah, I mean, you see the whole momentum shift. We losing 2 in a row, us winning 2 in a row. So we're certainly going to try our best to keep that momentum on our side, and to do that, you got to keep the foot on the gas, and we're going to do that.
How do you block out?
All right, there's Chris Bryant in the locker room, and again, you could still vote. You see the totals right there at the bottom of your screen. Game 5 MVP. CSNChicago.com/vote. No special app, no cost. We want your vote. We'll be right back on CSN.
Make sure he's in bed by 8.
Sometimes I get scared.
Scared of what, Danny?
The things I can't see.
Got a weird feeling.
Almost forgot. In case anything happens.
Dad, I got this.
Some things are simply impossible to ignore. The strikingly designed Lexus NX Turbo and Hybrid, the SUV that dares to go beyond utility. Lease the 2016 NX Turbo with zero due at signing for $429 a month for 36 months. See your Lexus dealer.
Your living room TV. If only you could bring it with you anywhere you went. It's got everything. Your live channels, instant access to the best entertainment, plus your recorded shows. The only problem is, it's stuck in your living room. Well, not anymore. Finally, you have the power to make the world your living room. Now, the live channels you love and watch at home are with you anywhere. Download the new free DirecTV app. It's your TV. Take it with you.
My mom was 91 years old when she fell and broke her hip at the nursing home. I called some lawyers and was told that she was too old for a lawsuit. But then I called the nursing home lawyers at Pintus and Mullins.
If someone you love is in a nursing home or hospital and has suffered from bed sores, dehydration, broken bones, or has died from neglect or abuse, call me right now.
Pintus and Mullins got us an insurance settlement for $750,000.
Let me investigate your case. There are no fees unless we get you a settlement.
Get up, get up.
What time is it?
I think I know what it's time for.
If your family is complete, the safest and most effective form of birth control is a vasectomy. Call today for a same-day consultation and procedure in one of our 3 state-of-the-art facilities.
Daddy, how are babies made?
I can tell you how they're not made.
Advanced Urology Associates. Safe, simple, and effective.
Back. There's a whole bunch more that were out there, and somebody wake Larry King up and tell him the game ended. He can go home now. We've got to take a time out. We'll come right back.
Wake it up, Larry. There you go. I told him.
When my hair gets too long, I lose my edge. But when my cut's right, I'm right. I'm back to being me. My dimples activate. My cleft chin becomes cleftier. I get a twinkle on my tooth, and I speak fluent French. Garbage, chaise lounge, mayonnaise.
Au revoir. Get in, get out, back to greatness. Download the online check-in app. Great clips. It's gonna be great.
Hi, how can I help you?
I got this. We're looking for something safe and spacious, has a rear view camera, and streaming audio for me to get my jam on.
How about a Honda CR-V? Named Kelley Blue Book's KBB.com Best Buy for 2016.
My work here is done.
Get a great deal on the Honda CR-V, named the Kelley Blue Book's KBB.com Best Buy for 2016. Only at the Honda Take Home a CR-V sales event.
In Chicago, some things just go together, like front porches and blue W's, bricks and ivy, Waveland Avenue and souvenirs, Jake and State Farm. Like home and auto insurance with State Farm, they just go together, and they save you time and money. Just another way we're here to help life go right. Talk to a State Farm agent today.
Pat Hughes reporting from Wrigleyville Sports, where the excitement is building. Devin and Colin are choosing caps from the enormous wall of hats. Check out that selection. Chris and Tony are sporting new home jerseys with the blue pinstripes, blue hats, and sleeves. Get these ball players some trousers. Katrina is eyeing a new sweatshirt. She wants to be ready for the postseason. Across the street from Wrigley Field, Wrigleyville Sports is your one-stop shop for everything Cubs. Open 7 days a week or anytime at WrigleyvilleSports.com.
UPS Store taking care of business. Player of the game, we got to go with Johnny Lester. The lefty was magnificent. 7 outstanding innings, pitch count of 108, 67 for strike, 5 hits, an earned run, 6 strikeouts, and a walk.
Love it. Outstanding effort. Big game, big performance. This is what he does. All right, time to recap Todd's keys from the pregame show, sponsored by Blue Cross Blue Shield of Illinois. All right, let's start right off the top. Do it again. That was a little Kenta Maeda. Now, that's what I wanted to talk about early offense. You heard Addison Russell talk about it, even Chris Bryant talk about it on their way back. Obviously, this is post-game, what they want to do when they get home. They're talking early offense. So my point is they're thinking along with what I'm telling you as well. That's what they want to do. It is absolutely their formula for success. They could have done it earlier in this one. Had a couple opportunities. For some reason, they just seem to warm to this one. Obviously, they're all over this Dodger bullpen, which is a good place to be. I'm fine with that, but at the same time, I would love to just simplify this by scoring a few more runs early, and they had some situations there in the first where they could have got it done. They had another situation in the fourth where they could have scored. They had a leadoff double. I mean, Cappy, we cannot continue to leave runners in scoring position early in ball games and just assume that we're going to score runs against the bullpen. Different story with the Indians right now. They got one of the best bullpens in baseball, and they're hot as firecracker right now with Andrew Miller and everybody else over there. So we got to do better about these things. All right, living on the edge. John Lester was absolutely outstanding tonight. He did live on the edge. And again, he was challenged, much like he was in game one, not getting every borderline pitch. There were a couple pitches in there. He looked in twice and said, that's a strike. And they said, no, it's not. My goodness gracious. He stayed out there. He stayed with it. He did not give, and I thought he gave a little bit more in game one, where you saw a few more pitches out over the plate and up, and we saw a little bit more hard contact. Last key, expect the unexpected. Dave Roberts did just as we expected, all of it.
Let me ask a question. If I told you they would put in next season lasers to have computers call balls and strikes, that would be guaranteed they'd be correct, would you be up for that?
I would be something I would consider. I mean, I have to think about it a little bit. That's a great question, but I would want to think about it a little bit more. How the pitcher's going to react to it? How are the catchers going to react to it? Are there any flaws? Is anything, there that makes for a variable? But it sounds like to me, because, right, we talk about it this way. When you have, players want consistency. You can be consistently bad, consistently good, just be consistent.
All right, back to talk about the game on Saturday that could send the Chicago Cubs to their first World Series since 1945. We'll preview that, the pitching matchup, next on CSN.
My cardiologist said, I don't want you to come back until you get something done about those teeth. That is the foundation of good heart health.
We're doing amazing transformations, and it's not just a smile, it changes their person's total outlook.
At Clear Choice, we understand that your dental health impacts your total health.
Doing the best for your own personal health is what's important.
Schedule your free consultation today. We'll even talk about financing options. Call Clear Choice today.
You know the feeling. The rush of every roll, every flip, sip, bite, note, and night. You know the feeling. Get it at Ameristar.
If you feel like singing a song and you want other people to sing along, just sing what you feel. Don't let anyone say it's wrong. When there's a light, what light? When there's a light, what light? When there's a light, why light?
Welcome to the Apt Showroom, one of the top appliance retailers in the U.S. Explore our full line of Thermador appliances that will inspire and empower you to imagine design and bring to life your dream kitchen. Our team of product experts will work with you, your builder, and designer from the very first sketch to the very last detail. Discover how Thermador is personalized to the way you cook and bring the ingredients of entertaining to life. Visit us at Apt, pleasing people since 1936.
All right, Saturday night is going to be off the charts at Wrigley Field. We will have pregame for you, we'll have postgame for you, and we hope that postgame is all about the Cubs going to the World Series for the first time since 1945. 71 years. They will battle the best in the game. There's the pitching matchup. The Cubs will send one of their best. Kyle Hendricks, the best on the planet. Clayton Kershaw goes for the Dodgers.
Would you have it any other way? I'm really excited. I think it's going to happen on Saturday, so Cubs fans, make your way, make your time. I know you're going to be watching, but I'm really excited about this. Clayton Kershaw, that's the guy you want to beat to get to the World Series.
All right, buddy. One more time.
All right, we can do it one more time.
We're out of here.
Boom.
We will see you tomorrow. We got a special that'll run tomorrow night. Look forward to that. You have a wonderful day. We'll see you.
For his last four. And Lester stares
at the Dodger dugout on his way off the field. The shortstop Russell. Getting ground ball to short. Russell. 3-2. A win away. The 2016 World Series.